Okay, folks, here we go. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. Okay, guys, God bless, and here we go. Sorry I didn't get that video up on Sunday. I tried. I had so much data. There's so much data. Okay, guys, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a very bullet point testimony, but then I'm going to do the entire testimony over again with all the data, all the proof. But I want to show everybody something. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell real quick. And then I'm going to say, now let's go back and let's go over everything I just showed you. And I'll show you all the proof going back to the beginning. Now, here's the thing, guys. Everything I'm about to show you has to do with the restoration. Revelation 22. Eden restored. I did not have any clue what this final message was going to be until just the other day, and the way it unfolded was so impossible. It's just like the whole Grand Junction container thing. No one could have orchestrated the containers being at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, which means proclamation of peace, and to take the glory from another king in battle. That's what Casimir means. So no one could have arranged that, and what I'm about to show you, no one can arrange this. Okay, so let me just give you a real quick, super quick history lesson. So, before I got saved, I was a pro skydiver. I had an art gallery, did a lot of stuff. But here's a weird thing. One of the first pieces I did was that parachute rack up there to hold my parachutes. That used to be freestanding in the middle of the room, and the bars, the crossbars. I hung a parachute on each one of the arms of the cross. I made it as a parachute rack. That's what it was made for. But one of the second piece I made, like big piece, is over in that art room right there, and it was the Garden of Eden. Okay, I took a magazine with female figures, and I carved all these naked women all over it. I put a guy and a girl having sex in this garden. I had angels coming down from heaven, and I have a serpent going into the garden. And that's what that giant sculpture started out as, the bar countertop in the front. Now, the front part of it that has all these images of naked women, I took a plasma cutter and I cut out sections of the metal so you could put a light behind it and light would come through it and it would highlight certain things. So light comes from behind the metal as well. And then I took service entry caps, which is where all the electricity comes into any house. There's what's called a service entry cap, and that's where all the wires come into your house and bring all the energy in. Oddly enough, I took service entry caps and I turned them around and I turned them into xenomorphs coming out of a dimension with the front of the facade being the Garden of Eden. Just stop and think about that. I'd never read the Bible. I'd never even heard about Genesis 6, when the sons of God had intercourse with human women. But for some reason, I seem to have carved it perfectly in metal using light as my medium to light up all these images. So I just got to give you this quick history lesson because what just got delivered to me is so impossible. I know we're coming into the end. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to show you the way it was revealed. And you guys can decide for yourself. I've already been, it's like been overload. So, okay, so here's the thing. First really big piece of artwork besides that parachute rack up there was the Garden of Eden. I'm going to show that to you in a second. Then that piece that's on the wall or in the window right there that's got the V over it, the V thing is not part of the original artwork. That's just something the Lord had me do during the time George was working for me. That's also the Garden of Eden right there in that window. And it's a piece of plexiglass. And then I took spray paint and I'd spray paint on it. I took a 7.5-inch grinder. I don't know about you guys that know your tools, but a 7.5-inch grinder is a grinder head that big. So you can't make any real detailed images. You can just do movement and show the shapes. So I did, it was like a new process. I'd spray paint on a piece of plexiglass and then I'd go zoom, zoom, and I'd grind the paint into the plexiglass meant to be lit from behind. So that also has to do with paint and light. So I put myself in the Garden of Eden with Eleuthera, my girlfriend, and I have a serpent wrapped around the whole thing, and there was a little hole in the top corner of that thing. There was a little hole in the piece of plexiglass, and I used that little hole as the eye of the serpent. I'm like, I'll just use that hole and make a serpent go around here, and that'll be the eye. Okay, then the night I got saved. The night I got saved, when I walked out of that alley, I walked into a giant stained glass window, and it was the Garden of Eden. Are y'all starting to see a pattern here? And then we do this big party in Grand Junction where the two containers, the Bride of Christ container and the Judgment Seat of Christ container, come together as one at the corner of Rainbow and Covenant of Peace, Proclamation of Peace, and Casimir, to take the glory from another king in battle. For those of y'all that were there, by the way, the little girl Lexi that had the eye problems that the Lord said lay hands on, her eyes are changing for the better. I got in a super great report. Other people that were there, Jack Lamb, who was our security, he prayed the Thursday before he went. He was in bed about 3 days a week, doubled over with pancreatitis for the last 2 years. 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week, he would be in bed in the fetal position all day with pancreatitis. Gone, healed. He said, Lord, if you have me go, if you'll let me go, you'll give me the strength to go on this thing. I'll protect your people. He was our armed security there. Yep. Nothing. Pancreatitis, completely gone. 2 years of 2 to 3 days torture a week. Gone. Alexi, her eye, from what I understand, is well on the mend. Her grandmother, ankle problem, apparently gone completely. There's just been lots of miracles. But here's the point. The Grand Junction event was a sanctifying event. It was my work of faith from the time I got saved in the alley when I got saved to the end of the ministry, and that was letting the enemy know, V for vengeance, that God's vengeance is coming upon them now. I'm going to show you the reason why during this video. I'm going to show you testimonies that are so mind-blowing, so impossible, your jaw is going to be unhinged. You're going to be like, what? Yeah. It's just so crazy. So anyhow, without any further ado, let me just start with this. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you first that, yes, before I got saved, here's Garden of Eden, here's the Garden of Eden, and then I'll show you where I got saved. There's the Garden of Eden, and then I'm going to show you on the way home the Garden of Eden, and then I'll give you the quick testimony on how the Lord conveyed to me that Eden is going to be restored. Everyone that's a believer, the Church of Philadelphia is going to go home. And so you either believe it or don't. Either you have ears to hear or you don't. That's all there is to it. So now, let me just go ahead and do the simple part first. Let me just show you the folder. Any of y'all that want to see this folder for yourself, this is Spiritual Takeover has become complete. Let's see, let me see. This folder right here is Spiritual Takeover has become completely obvious. So I'm going to go to the last page on this, and I'm going to just show you very quickly. Let's see. Let me arrange this thing a little bit better. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Kind of a little cramped here. I had to do some rearranging. Okay, so here's the Grand Junction, poster, and for the invitation. There it is. So before the fire event, Grand Junction. Okay, so there it is. That's a very telling poster. That's a space shuttle Discovery behind me. Isn't that fascinating that the shuttle that's launching behind me while I'm sky surfing is the Discovery, and I'm discovering all of this information. That's when the Lord was drawing me in. Okay, now let me just go over some things very quickly. Okay, so on the way to Grand Junction, I stopped in, I drove through this, it was called the Joshua Tree Forest. I left these upside down on purpose, and the reason is when I sent those to put in the folder, that's how they came in, which is basically impossible. iPhones have a level on them. My testimony in front of God is I did not invert those. Those came in, I populated the folder, but when they showed up in the folder, that's how they showed up. So I left them. So there I am with Joshua Tree next to me, and I'm upside down. Now, I put this folder in because I want y'all to see the common denominators. Kingsbrook Estates. Okay, now look. Kingsbrook Estates is where I stopped in to see Tom and Jory Lamb. Okay, now listen. Before I went to Grand Junction, I talked to the Lambs, Thomas and Jory Lamb, and I told her, hey, look, the Lord's telling me it's okay for me to come lay hands on you. She has an eye condition, like type of, like sort of blindness, where her vision's getting darker and darker and darker, and it's very hard for her to see. So anyway, the Lord told me I could go by there and lay hands on her. So anyway, I told her, yes, I will be coming through Las Vegas. I'll route myself that direction, and I'll come and I'm going to lay hands on you. The Lord opened the door. Well, they wanted to take me out and show me a nice time and take me out to eat and all that. And I heard the Lord tell me, no, you have to go to their house. That was awkward. I was like, well, would y'all mind if I just came to your house? I know we've never met. It's like, it was awkward. Anyway, so I asked him, I said, would you mind? Because the Lord's telling me I need to go by your house. That's a requirement for me to come over. And they said, oh, no, that's fine. They were very gracious. So they invited me to come to their house. But they really wanted to take me out to dinner or to lunch somewhere in Las Vegas. And the Lord said, no, you have to go to their house. Do you know why? I know why. Because they live in Kingsbrook, like river, like brook or river, court. It's a gated community, and it's the Lamb's house. Jory, the word Jory, do you know what Jory means? Jory means to flow down or also to lift up, to take up. I'll show you in a minute. I put all my stuff in these folders. Thomas means twin. Think about that. To enter into the Lamb's house, to take up twin lamb at Kingsbrook. Kingsbrook. Brook is like a river, just smaller. That's Revelation 22. Let's go to Revelation 22 real quick. So let's have a look real quick. So let's get our ducks in a row real quick. So here we go. I had this open the other day, but I forgot. So you guys just do it with me. So we'll go to KJV, and we'll go to Revelation 22. Okay, so here it is. So he showed me a pure river of water of life. Okay, so think of Kingsbrook's court. He showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and the Lamb. Think about me going to the Lamb's house. Okay, now, let me go back to here we go. So, on the way to Vegas, on the way to Grand Junction, I stop at Thomas and Jory Lamb's house. That's a fact. It's all documented. I laid hands on both of them. Thomas, I forget if it's, he has, I think it's MS. And he got a great report from the doctor. When he went to the doctor was like, wow, what's going on? Your blood work is great. You look really great. And then Jory Lamb went to her doctor for her eye, and the doctor was like, wow, what's going on? Your eyes are showing signs of healing. Not wow, what's going on, but he was surprised. Her eye is showing signs of healing, and she didn't need a shot in her eye. And so that was a big thing for her, not to get a shot, and the doctor said her eye is healing. Okay, so that happened. I've documented it. And we're going to go through these pictures in just a sec. Okay, so here's the gate opening up. Now think about Revelation 22 and the gate opening up and going into the Lamb's house and going into the Kingsbrook court. So just think about that while we're doing this. Okay, so here it is. There is the gate opening up. There's Kingsbrook. And then to go into the gated community, I had to have a code. Now, everybody's like, why did you tell everybody their code? It's like, guys, I talked to the Lambs before I even thought about using their code publicly. They can change their codes, by the way. So The code I had to press was 2766 to get into Kingsbrook Court, to the Lamb's house, to Jory and Thomas Lamb, to lift up twin lambs. Think about that. We used not to be a twin lamb. We used to be one reptile, one lamb. Now we're lamb. Think about it. If your eye be single, your whole body's full of light. You couldn't even think this up, folks. Okay, now watch. So there's the gate opening up, and the gate code was 2766. The Lord told me, look it up in the Bible. What is 2766? It means mighty in power and chosen. That's impossible. That is beyond impossible. So I've documented all that. I'm gonna open up the meaning of Jory, and also Jorie is the same. The name Jory is a Hebrew baby's name. It means God will uplift, right there. Now, I looked it up previously, and it means to flow down, but I didn't look it up in Hebrew. This time, the Lord led me to look it up in Hebrew, and it means God will uplift. Now, imagine you're me, and you're driving to Grand Junction for this sanctifying, this event, this work of faith that the Lord God told you he wanted you to do. And you're on your way, but you're going to go lay hands on these people, but you're not allowed to go to a restaurant. You have to go to their house. And then you get there, and there's a gated community, just like going into the king, like going into heaven. It's gated. And to get in, it's mighty, because the one we serve is the mighty, he's the almighty God, and chosen. And then the name of the people that live in Kingsbrook, like the river of the throne of God. The name of the people are Thomas, which means twin, because we used to be one thing one way, one thing the other way, but then our eyes became single and we became twin lambs. And then Jory means to uplift. Just stop and think about just that. You got to be kidding me. That's insane. But yet it happened. And you're looking at it. I'm proving it. Here. Okay, so Jory means God will uplift. The gate code means mighty and chosen. And then from here, now imagine you're me. So then you leave Kingsbrook Court and you drive to Grand Junction and you get to Mike's house, and Mike has finished his table that's made out of wood from the tree of heaven. See that? See that tree? And Mike's got his own mind-boggling supernatural testimony. I put it on YouTube. That everything about that table is so supernaturally, spiritually significant, it will blow your mind. It's a miracle after miracle. So now I go from Kingsbrook Court, the gated community like Lamb's house, think Revelation 22, and there flowed a river, or like a brook, from the throne of the Lamb, Kingsbrook Court, a pure river. And now you show up in Grand Junction, and Mike's got it. Mike had done that table and he messed up pretty badly. He put an epoxy in that was like real milky. It looked like Elmer's glue. Kind of like the stuff I show you on altars. He routed it all out, and I sent him some of my stuff from metallic epoxy, and he redid it. And now it looks like this clear blue river. And so I go from Kingsbrook Court in Las Vegas, Thomas and Jory Lamb's house in the gated community in Kingsbrook Court. And I go to Grand Junction, and there's another river flowing through the middle of two pieces of wood that are from a tree called the tree of heaven. Just stop and think about that. What? Yeah, it's all true. You're looking right at it. There are so many miracles associated with this ministry. It's hard to keep track of them all. But the Bible says that signs and wonders will follow us, those that God has sent out. So anyway, so there's that. And so then here's a picture of, the jump run when I'm going to jump with a parachute that says V for Vengeance. And I'll tell you what, let me tell you something. It was a pure miracle that I was able to find the LZ, because I'm not from Grand Junction. So to look out of an airplane on your first run and you're looking for a tarp that's 20 foot by 20 foot from 9,000 feet, impossible. No way. And I prayed, we had to make one loop. And I said, Lord, would you please help me find this thing? And we opened the door to the plane, and I hung my head out, and then I saw it and I went, there it is, let's go. And so it was a miracle that we found the LZ. It was also a miracle they didn't stop the jump because the ground winds were way too high. But they had lost radio communication from the ground to the plane, so no one could say, don't jump. The ground winds are too high. So out we go. Now, don't forget, Madonna had just done her ooh, oh. Remember Madonna? Oh, Madam X, here comes old Madam X. And, it's like, they're doing their little satanic occult ritual with Madam X, the 2X, double female, the female sex chromosome coming up from the pit. And she's coming up from the pit. Now, think about this. I'm in Grand Junction, jumping from the sky. She's coming from the pit. I'm coming from the sky. I've got a big red X on my parachute, but it's really two V's. Right side up, upside down says V for vengeance. Just think about that. That's insane. That is so cray-cray. It's just like, what? Yeah, that's what happened. People were there. So I couldn't find the LZ. I was like, where the hell is this? I had no idea. I just knew this highway right here. And so I was looking at the highway. I was like, Lord, please help me find this. And so sure enough, I stuck my head out the door. We opened the door to the airplane. I hung my head out, and there it was. And I pointed to it and said, let's go. So here's Mike getting ready to launch. And Mike was told, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I'm going to give a testimony to this. Mike told me when this initiated, I never would have done this. I never would have said, hey, let's all go to Grand Junction. I'm going to jump out of a plane. Are you kidding? I'd be like, that would be so freaking arrogant. There's no way I would do that. But when Mike said, Johnny, the Lord told me I have to do a tandem, I was like, he asked me if I wanted to do one. I was like, no, bro. I was actually really kind of rude. I was like, no, dude, I'm not doing a tandem. No. I'm a tandem instructor, dude. I'm not doing a tandem. If God told you to do a tandem, you do a tandem. I'm not doing a tandem, okay? I love you, but I'm not. I'm not going to go do a tandem. I'm a tandem instructor. There's no way I'll do one. And then all of a sudden, I hear the Lord say, I want you to jump with Mike. And I'm like, what? And then I hear the Lord say, I want you to get your own canopy with a layover. And I was on the phone with Mike. I was like, what the, hang on. I was like, Mike, I'll call you back. I hang up on Mike. I call Kat up. Hey, Kat, listen, and something really weird's going on. This is what I heard the Lord say. I had Kat on the phone and I said, Lord, I'm praying right now. If you really want me to go to Grand Junction and you want me to jump a canopy with a layover, you're going to have to prove it to me right now with Kat on the phone. And I said, I'm just going to open this book. And it was a thesaurus. And I said, if it doesn't tell me to do that on this page, I'm not doing it. And I opened it up. It said stuntman canopy layover, all on the same page. And I was like, oh, he's not kidding. That's the reason I ended up doing it. I was like, what the hell? So anyway, I took the step of faith. I ordered the canopy, got back in skydiving, did everything I had to do in order to make that event happen like it did. That was a lot of faith. So anyway, then we're at Grand Junction now. We're doing our work of faith. We're going to put the two containers together. We're going to have a bunch of like-minded believers come together, all of us that know the truth because we've been turned up. We're no longer upside down. We've been turned up in their upside down world. So we had a little get together, and this is a documentation of that little get together. There's Mike, and Mike told me this. So here's the weird part. Mike told me then, Jonathan, I know that this sounds weird, but the Lord told me I have to jump with a scorpion on my back. And I was like, no, seriously, I was like, okay, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. That sounds pretty weird. I mean, but I get it because I have the Lord tell me all kinds of weird stuff, and sometimes you don't understand until it happens. So I get it. So I guess one of the inhabitants of the land is scorpion because thou dost dwell among scorpions. So then we find out in the Bible, thou dost dwell among scorpions. Did you know that on that jump, Cody, the guy that's strapped to Mike's back, this guy right here, Cody, this guy right here, that guy, he says to Mike, he leans forward and he goes, hey, you ready to die? And he took his finger like a scorpion stinger and went, he goes, hey, you ready to die? And went and stabbed him in the chest like a scorpion stinger. I was like, it just manifested what you were talking about. Yeah, it happened. So anyway, then I go out of the plane and I jump the canopy that the Lord the Lord's the one that designed that canopy. It's V for vengeance, and I'll show you exactly. See, it's a V with fangs, like vampiric. There's a 4 there, V for vengeance, and then a V for vengeance, right side up and upside down. It's kind of funny when you collapse the slider, it made a big U. Isn't that fascinating? So anyway, so there's proof of, me doing what the Lord said, and there is the canopy landing on the ground. Okay, so now here's where things get really interesting, and now we're going to get into this testimony. So there's a canopy landing on the ground. So I came from above. Madonna was coming from the pit. So I'm coming from the air. She's coming from the pit. And I've got V for vengeance, and Madonna's got a big X on her too. I mean, I'm the one that's the witness against the mother goddess, the female rival. Like Madonna. Madonna means Madonna. You know what a Madonna is? Madonna. And so, like Madonna and child. So, here it is. Just do the math. Watch this. So, here's Madonna. She's got a serpent on one leg, and she's got a cross on the other leg, which is exactly the same as the Vatican. Look, there's the serpent. There's a cross. Let's do it full size so you can really see it. There you go. There's the serpent on one leg. There's the upside down cross on the other. That's the same exact thing as the Vatican. And that clothing line OFWGKTA, Odd Future Wolfgang, kill them all, because they are that Odd Future Wolfgang. It's a new race of beings, and they're going to kill all the sheep. This is a no-brainer now. It doesn't take a brain to figure it out. The Lord had me do all the data. So there's Madonna coming up from the pit right here. And there's Jonathan coming down from the sky. What's the similarities? She's got an X on her, and I've got an X on me. Now, this picture right here, the Lord told me when I got back to San Antonio, He told me to go down to the alley, wear your white skydiving thing, outfit, and walk up to the wall that says, "For whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap." The Lord told me to go down there, document it. Trey went with me. I said, "Trey, I know it sounds weird, but this is what the Lord's telling me to do. Go wear your skydiving outfit and walk up to that wall and document it." I was like, "That's really weird." Okay, whatever. So I did it. There's the picture that proves I did it. You know what's really weird? Before that whole skydiving thing, the Lord told me to put "game over" on the back of my skydiving outfit and write the word "over" upside down. Game over upside down. Now, after the event, He sends me back down to where I got saved, and I walk up to that wall, and there's a picture of me walking up to that wall. Did you know what's right above me? You know what's right above that wall? A stained glass window with Adam in the Garden of Eden. Stop. Okay, let's start doing the math. First big piece of art Jonathan does, Garden of Eden. Jonathan and Eleuthera in the Garden of Eden. Eleuthera with Jonathan the night he gets saved. Jonathan walks out, Garden of Eden. On the way home from the event, the Lord God takes Jonathan to a place called Eden in Texas. I documented everything. You're going to see little video clips that are coming up in just a minute. But I wanted to lay it out before you see the video clips so you'll understand. Because I didn't understand until just 2 days ago what's going on. Let me give you the final part of the testimony, and then we're going to do the whole testimony over again with all the documentation. It's so mind-blowing, you're going to freak out. I know, because I freaked out. So here's the deal. So the other day, Dave the guy that works with me, that does some of the stuff for me, he wanted to make a poster for Kat and send it to Kat as a joke. Dave's the one that made the poster. Dave made the poster for Grand Junction, and Dave's the one that made that Grand Junction poster right there. So Dave wanted to make a poster and send it to Kat. and he wanted to make kind of a joke. And so, game over, guys. By the way, I think it's kind of funny that it says V for Jim Vengeance on my waistline and game over while I'm walking up to the Garden of Eden. I mean, what are the odds? So anyway, so here's the thing. Here's the testimony. A couple days ago, Dave the Wave's like, hey, Johnny, can you give me Kat's address? I want to send her this poster as like a joke. And I was like, yeah, no problem. He goes, but yeah, don't alert her to the fact that I'm going to send it to her. So he wants to surprise her. He doesn't want me going, hey, Kat, what's your address? So she says, well, why? What do you need it for? And then I can't lie. So Dave doesn't want Kat to know that he's sending her this because it's kind of a surprise joke. So anyway, I was like, all right, so let me go back in my text messaging. Well, so I have two phones. And so I get this phone and I start going through to find Dave Kat's address because I know I have it in my phone. It's in here somewhere. And so I start going back through it and I'm scrolling through. Well, I'm sorry. Time out. So Dave asked me for that address. Then Corey in California sends me a picture of a car with a license plate. Okay. I get a text message from Corey in California, and it's just a license plate. And then Corey says, do you see it or something? And I'm like, honestly, and Corey, I'll be very straightforward about this. A lot of times when, somebody will see something and I'll say, don't read too much into it. Because a lot of people try and make stuff significant. Sometimes it's not significant. I see it all the time. The stuff that the Lord leads me to, I make sure that this is something he led me to. It's called testing the spirits. Lord, is this really something you're doing? So anyway, so Corey sends me a picture of a license plate, and on the license plate, it has 311 on it. And I was very, I'm just being honest. I was like, oh, all right, Corey. I was like, you know what? I'll just kind of put it on the shelf. And Corey knew that. And so, you know what? I think let's do a quick testimony with Corey real quick. Let me call Corey real quick. Okay, so I just want to get Corey's take on it real quick so you guys can hear it. I should have texted him first. I should have texted you first. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so check it out. I'm doing a screencast-o-matic, and I'm telling everybody, I'm working into this whole testimony, but I told them that, the other day you just kind of randomly sent me a picture of a car and a license plate, and then I think you said you see it. And so I called you back, and I was being kind of, well, just tell everybody, just give everybody a quick rundown on it.
Yeah, well, we had just started talking on the phone, and I think we had only been talking for like 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and I'm cruising down the freeway going 80, and as soon as we get on the phone, basically, this car passes me on the right. Should I say what it is or no?
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead. So a car passes you on the right, and you take a picture of it, and you send it to me, right?
Correct.
And so we're on the phone at that time, and you say to me, do you see it? And I look at it, and I'm like, I guess you're referring to the 311 on the license plate, like, behold, I come quickly, because that's Revelation 3:11, right?
That's correct.
But I was kind of like, yeah, maybe, right?
Right, because we're really only supposed to do things if the Lord really leads us.
Right.
And so I know, because just knowing you, and you've repeatedly said that many times, we shouldn't go off on our own. Thinking through our flesh, so we should be careful, in other words. So that's kind of how you were reacting, like, yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I got it. I'll put it on the shelf, kind of, right?
Correct.
Okay, so, but you did send me a gold-colored Honda, and the license plate was blah, 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 311, right?
That's correct.
And so I said, yeah, you sent it to me because you're like referring to 311 as Revelation 3:11, behold, I come quickly. And you're like, yeah, that's right. And I was like, yeah, maybe we'll see. Correct?
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to bail because I just wanted to get a witness for that part of the story.
No problem.
Thanks, Corey. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so guys, so there you go. There's Corey, just testimony. So again, so when Corey sent me, this picture while we're on the phone, I'm like, maybe, I'm not going to take that real seriously, to be honest. And I was like, okay. But then Dave calls and Dave needs that address for Kat. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't call Kat and say, hey, Kat, give me your address, because then she'll know Dave's going to, Dave's going to send her something because I'll have to rat him out. So anyway, so I start thumbing through this phone right here and I start scrolling back, scrolling back, scrolling back, scrolling back. And as I scroll back, I'm freaking out and I'm starting to get really annoyed because I know I have Kat's address in there like repetitively. And what's really weird is I can't seem to find the address. And so it's really kind of starting to annoy me. And so then finally I find her address and this is right with her address. And it says Eden Restored. See right here, Eden Restored. And it says 22, then the angel showed me a river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of the Lamb of God and from the Lamb, down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life. Now all of a sudden, my brain I'm thinking, wow, that's weird. Michael's house has the tree of heaven. The water going down between the two pieces of the tree of heaven. And then my head's going to Jory Lamb's house. And I'm like, that's weird. Flowing, because Jory also means to flow down or to take up. And I'm sitting there going, that's really bizarre. Because now I'm reading Eden Restored. And then I look at the date that I saw her address. I had to scroll back all the way back to March 11th, 3/11. And I'm like, what? And so in this phone, Kat's address is on this phone in our text messaging on 3/11. Corey just sent me 3/11 on a license plate. I'm going, yeah, maybe. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at Eden Restored. And then it's like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, that's why the Lord sent me down to the place I got saved, because it's Adam ascending into heaven. It's Christ ascending into heaven, the Garden of Eden. I have game over written on my butt, basically. Oh my God, that's why he sent me down there. Game over. Garden of Eden is one of my first pieces of art with locusts coming out of it. There's Eleuthera and Jonathan in the Garden of Eden. Eleuthera was with me the night I got saved. I chose freedom Eleuthero over Eleuthera. Eleuthera was saying, don't open the door, Jonathan. And the Lord God was saying, Jonathan, open the door. And I wanted to know the truth so bad, I was willing to go out the door and get killed, because the guys that I'd been in a high-speed chase with that day were parked at the into the alley, and they had already tried to run me off the road one time. And now I'm going back down to the alley with game over on my back, V for vengeance on the back of my pants, game over, Garden of Eden. And on the way home from Grand Junction, the Lord God had me stop in. He didn't tell me, Jonathan, go to Eden, Texas. I told my phone, take me to San Antonio, Texas, when I was in Grand Junction. And somehow on some back road, I ended up in Eden, Texas. And the Lord God told me, when you get to Eden, stop your vehicle, get out of your vehicle, and do a testimony in front of the city limit of Eden, Texas. I'm like, I was on the phone with Kat. I was like, Kat, the Lord's telling me I gotta stop at the city limit and get out and do a testimony in front of the city limits. What the hell's going on? This is crazy. And now I understand why. Because Eden's about to be restored, and we're going home. Y'all want to see the testimony? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I got all that out. Now, I've given you the constituent parts. Now, we're going to go back in time and I'm going to show you all these little videos I made in, Eden, Texas. Oh, by the way, when I left Eden, Texas, it was goats everywhere. It was like goat herding. There were no sheep. It was only goats. Goats everywhere, miles of goats. As you drove out of Eden, Texas, it's all goat farming. I was just like, this is insane. I'm like, oh yeah, wait till you see the videos that y'all are about to see right now, okay? Some crazy stuff. So now, I'm going to let you guys watch all these little video clips and then I put it together. Now, I'm sorry if some of the clips are a little repetitive and say the same thing, but I had to document everything. So, just enjoy it. This is an end time harbinger telling you Eden is about to be restored. And this is the way the Lord did it. He made sure that one of my first pieces of artwork was Eden. Bunch of naked women, man and a woman having sex, angels coming down from heaven, having sex with women, a bunch of xenomorphs coming out from behind this dimension that's cut into the metal. So all this light's coming out and they're coming out from behind it. I got Lou and I in the garden. I've got the Garden of Eden in there. I end up in Eden, Texas. When the night I got saved, the Garden of Eden was right in front of me, lit up at night with Christ ascending into heaven. And just 2 or 3 days ago, the Lord told me, yes, tell everybody the end's coming. The end is coming. Why do you think my coat of arms is a king's crown and a horn? I didn't know Kleck had a coat of arms. The Lord told me, look up your coat of arms. I'm like, coat of arms? We have a coat of arms? How come I'm not living in a castle? It's like, what the hell's going on? And I looked it up, and it's a crown and a trumpet because I'm a watchman like Ezekiel. If the watchman seeth the sword coming, and he bloweth not the trumpet, and he warneth not the people, and they're taken away in their iniquity, I will hold the watchman personally responsible, his blood for theirs. But if the watchman seeth the sword coming and bloweth the trumpet, which I've done, then their blood is on their hands. I've blown the trumpet, guys. Now I'm giving you a testimony to the end of the world is coming. The end of the world. I'm sorry, guys. I've noticed there's some really strange comments that have come up. I mean, the people are telling me in the comment section that my blue eyes are a cover for the demon that's controlling me. I'm like, some lady wrote, your beautiful blue eyes are just a cover for the demon. I'm like, I see. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to, oh no. Uh-oh. No. What happened? I'm not going to put it right there. Sorry. Hopefully nothing happened. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the videos and I'm going to give you guys all the evidence. Let's go through the pictures really quick though. Watch this. Okay, so let's do the pictures really quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the pictures. Okay, so just in a nutshell. Okay, so here's Jonathan on the way to I'm going from Phoenix to Las Vegas. I stop in the Joshua Tree Desert. Well, by the way, Joshua means like Jesus. And both pictures I sent to myself were upside down. I go into Kingsbrook Estates. The gate opens up to the Lamb's house. Thomas and Jory Lamb. Thomas means twin. Jory means God will uplift. I go into Kingsbrook Court with a gate code 2766. It means mighty and chosen. I go to Grand Junction, and when I show up there, Michael's finished his table, and his table has a river of life going between two pieces of wood that's called the heaven tree. I do a jump right here. with an X on my parachute. It says V for vengeance. It's two V's that make a big red X. At the same time, Madonna's coming up from the pit with an X on her. Here is my artwork. Okay, I'm going to enlarge each picture so you can see each one. I'm going to go through them very quickly. That is like a plasma ball, and that is a female egg being fertilized, and those are a bunch of sperm fertilizing the female egg. That's on the artwork. That's the countertop in the art room. And then the fertilized egg also turns into the sun. Now here's the front part of the panel. This is the vertical part of the panel, and these are carved images of women. You'll see there's a girl's head, the eye and the mouth. And those are cut out with plasma cuts, so light comes through the eyes. There is obviously a female from behind. There's her head. There's the small of her back. There's her buttocks. So anyway, you can see that there's women carved on this thing. Let's see. This is a table that's in front of it, and it's got a pattern that's snakeskin made out of marbles. I did all this before I got saved. Here is the wall portion of it that goes up the wall. Here's a serpent coming down into the garden. Here's another woman. This is her buttocks. There's her leg going out. That's her leg bent. There's her back. There's her head. Here's a serpent coming down into the garden. There's a naked female on her stomach. Okay, so I just want to show you all these parts. Here is an image of the whole wall. So here's the wall. Here are a bunch of xenomorphs. Here's a bunch of xenomorphs coming out of a dimension right here and here. These are surface entry caps. And this is with the lights on during the day, so you can see, it's just got a lot going on here. And then here's an act of sex going on right here between a man and a woman. And there's angels coming down from heaven. And there's the whole system. Somehow I carved it in metal using lights as my medium before I ever got saved. It also has Michael coming on the clouds of heaven to destroy it, Michael and all the angels. And so there's the Garden of Eden portion of the sculpture, and over to the right you would see Michael, the archangel, coming with all the angels, and Jesus coming with his sword drawn. Okay, so here's the Garden of Eden. So Jonathan Kleck's Garden of Eden. Here is the image of Lou and I in the garden. This is the plexiglass right here, and there is Lou and I in the Garden of Eden right there. So there's the back of my head. There's the front of the female. Here's the serpent wrapped around the whole thing, and that's just without that. I just set it on top of the other Garden of Eden, but this image is actually in the window behind me right now. But I just wanted you to see it by itself without the V for vengeance over it. So there's another image of the Garden of Eden. Now I took it and I put it in the window behind me, and so I'll show that to you right here. It's in the window behind me, and the Lord had me put V for vengeance over it. And so there it is. This is the Garden of Eden. It says V for vengeance, and there's the serpent's eye right here, serpent's body wrapped around. So isn't it fascinating? Before I got saved, the theme was the Garden of Eden with me and Lou. First, before I met Lou, I had the Garden of Eden. Then I met Lou, and I had Lou and I in the Garden of Eden. Then the night I get saved, I'm with Lou, and I walk out of an alley. And when I walk out of the alley, I walk right into this. The night I got saved, this is right above the wall that says, "Whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap." There's Adam in the Garden of Eden. And right below Adam is a vesica with a dove coming through it. I mean, you can't think this. You couldn't write a screenplay for this. You couldn't even think this stuff up. And then above Adam right there is Christ ascending into heaven right there. That's the upper part of the window. And so then I'll show you the whole window right here. I'll show you the whole thing right here. So there you go. So there's Christ ascending into heaven right there. See, he's not nailed to a cross. He's ascending into heaven. And there's Adam in the garden. And then after Grand Junction, the Lord told me I had to go down there and wear my skydiving clothes and document it. Here's me standing in front of the city limit, coming home from Grand Junction. I'm in Texas. And the Lord had me, by some bizarre set of circumstances, I ended up in Eden. And it says, so there it is. I'm coming home from Grand Junction. And it says Eden City population 2766. Now, guys, this is absolutely insane. The Lord told me you have to look up that number in the Bible. I was like, that's crazy. Look up 2766 in the Bible. Look it up. It means consecrated potter's clay. What? Yeah. Yeah. Consecrated because the Grand Junction event consecrated the entire ministry. It was all a work of faith. The whole thing, the entire ministry was a work of faith. Yeah, so amazing. Consecrated potter's clay. Oh, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, that which the Lord God formed in Genesis 2. By the way, it says, I create darkness and I form the light. He formed us out of the darkness. Yeah! How cool is that? So you can't make this stuff up. No one could think it up. 2766, Strong's Concordance. One definition is consecrated, and the other one is potter's clay. I'll show it to you. I'm gonna 2766, consecrated, right there. See, I'm not making this up. By the way, Charmin, isn't it funny? There's a type of toilet paper called Charmin. They're mocking us. I went and looked up. Is it a name that owns Charmin? Is that after someone's name? Nope. Procter and Gamble named it Charmin because they're mocking us because you wipe your rear end with it. And they're mocking all the sheep. They hate us. So Charmin means consecrated, and then the other word for is potter's clay, right there. It's a different word. It's I'll have to look it up, but there it is, right there. I don't know how to say that, but it's potter's clay, consecrated potter's clay, 2766. Stopping into Eden, Texas. And I had someone on the phone before I ever stopped. I said, Kat, this is so crazy. And you're going to get to see those videos now. Then, after I get home, and I'm here in San Antonio, I hear the Lord tell me, put on your skydiving clothes and go down to the alley and document you walking up to the wall where it says, whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap. And I was like, hey, Trey, would you just do a video of me walking up to that? I don't know what it's all about because I'm walking up to where I got saved, Adam in the Garden of Eden. Game over. Nobody could even think this up. This is the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. Are y'all wrapping your brain around this? It's so crazy. Okay, so here it is. So there's proof. So there I am in front of Eden, 2766. It means consecrated potter's clay. And there I am walking up. There I am walking up to the stained glass window. That is right under the stained glass window. Whatsoever man soweth, that must he also reap. It says game over. That's what the Lord told me to put on my jumpsuit. And right there where the belt is, it says V for vengeance. And the Lord's telling us, game over. This is telling the enemy the game's over. I mean, there's just no way. No one could even think this up. Okay, there it is. Game over, V for vengeance. And I'm walking right up to the stained glass window, which is Eden. The night I got saved, I was with Lou. I'm right there with Lou in Eden. The night I got saved, I was with Lou, and I walk up to Adam. And yeah, stained glass window. Are y'all catching this? You can't even think this up. There's a picture of the car Corey sent me when I was on the phone with him. When he said, hey, did you catch that? It says 311, 5th and 311. And I was like, yeah, you mean like Revelation 3:11, behold, I come quickly? And he was like, yeah, so here's another part of the testimony. So before I got the, I think this is before I got the Eden Restored. I had a stack of mail in my car. Now here's the thing. I go to the post office every day, pretty much every day, and I'll read letters in my car, and then I'll take some and I'll put them on the visor, some on the other visor, some on the dash, just depending what I'm going to do with them. Well, the ones that I'm going to throw away, sometimes they get all over the place. They slide from one side to the other. And after a couple weeks of having letters in my car, there's a lot of paper. And so I came home, and on that bar right there, I set this stack of letters. And if I've already opened it and read the letter, I open it up, I read the letter, and I put it back in. And if I'm not going to keep this letter, most of them I don't keep unless it's a card. Sometimes I keep cards and stuff, and so, or numbers. And so I had all that mail sitting there, and I'm trying to go through it really fast. I'm like, I read that, I read that, I read that, I read that, I read that. And then I grabbed a letter, and I didn't recognize whether or not I had read it or not. And so I was like, I don't know if I read that. So I pulled the letter out, and look what's on the letter I pulled out. I was like, you got to be kidding. Thomas, and Jory. Oh, wow. It's from Thomas and Jory. Thomas and Jory. It says, behold, I am coming quickly. Oh, gosh. And it's Revelation 22:7. I didn't realize till right now that's from Thomas and Jory Lamb. Can't even make this stuff up. That letter right there, and I had no idea. I was just trying to go through my mail real quick and throw away the ones that have been sent around for too long. And I didn't recognize whether or not I had read it, so I pulled it out. And so the very same thing that's on that license plate, behold, I come quickly, is on that letter. It's just a different verse. One's Revelation 3:11, one's Revelation 22:7. Unbelievable. Okay, and then, again, I'm looking up Kat's address, and when I look up Kat's address, it's on 311, and it says Eden Restored, because that's what's about to happen. At the end of this video, I'm going to let Max McLean read Revelation 22 to encourage everybody, because, guys, we're going home. The end's coming. Whoever has an ear, let him hear. Yeah, the end is coming. We're going home. The Church of Philadelphia is leaving. The bride is leaving, guys. And either you have an ear to hear it or you don't. That's why the Bible says, whoever has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. And I'm giving a testimony because that's the church I am supposed to be leading. Any doubt now? No. All right. Here we go. Now I'm going to give you this video testimony of all this stuff. I'm going to give you guys a video testimony of all this. Okay, so this is a little video compilation I put together from the trip. So it's going to start out with me pulling up to the Lamb's house. And then there'll be other video clips in this thing. And then there's going to be a little slideshow too. And then also I want you to know at the end of this video, at the end of this whole thing, I'm going to show you some stuff I put in the folder. I can use 2 bumper stickers to prove the mystery of everything. 2 bumper stickers. Now, that's how simple it is for the Lord to allow me to prove everything to you. Everything I've been shown, it's all perfect. It's true. All of it. I can use 2 bumper stickers to prove out the mystery of life, of everything. So crazy. Anyway, I want to give all the glory to God, Jesus. I didn't die on a cross, guys. Jesus is the one that died on the cross so we could even have this knowledge. This is a gift of the Holy Spirit. This is Him operating through a host body to give the information to everybody here towards the end. So anyway, all glory to Jesus. Yeshua. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and let this speak for itself. And here we go. And I think I should probably mute this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so this is me going back to the Lamb's house. And I'm just going back. I'm just going back to document it because this is unbelievable. So we're going into Kingsbrook Estates. So check it out. Look. Kingsbrook Estates. Okay, and to open the gate, so look, watch this. To open the gate, I had to press 26, 26, and the gate opens. So the Lord told me to come back and videotape it. So the gates are opening up, letting us into the Lamb's house. And we're able to enter the gate, and it's at Kingsbrook's Court. So just so you can see, Kingsbrook's Court. That's just unbelievable, you guys. That's just unbelievable. So yeah, so anyway, so the Lord told me to come back and document it. So I'm documenting it. That is just unbelievable. Okay. So anyway, I just had to come back. The Lord told me to go back and document the gates opening. And I'd already driven off, guys. I was like, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles down the road. And I heard the Lord say, no, go document the gates opening. That's so crazy. Anyway, so I did it. I documented it. The gates opened by, in the word, the number 2626 in the Bible means authority and mighty and chosen. So that's what it all means. It all means the same thing. It's so crazy. You can't even make this stuff up. It's just, sorry guys, I'm trying to get my seatbelt. It's all just so wild. It's just so crazy. I mean, look, now so now I'm exiting, and now I'm heading to Grand Junction. Okay, so let me end my route. Okay, Siri, get directions to Grand Junction, Colorado.
Getting directions to Grand Junction.
You can't even think this stuff up. I'm on my way to Grand Junction. All right. Okay, you can't even think. You can't even think this stuff up. So now I'm on my way to Grand Junction after going back to videotape the gate opening to the gated community, because Kingsbrook and the Kingsbrook Court is a gated community, and you have to be let in, and the gate code means mighty and chosen. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm a little slow sometimes, I didn't quite get it all, but when I heard the Lord say, no, you need to go back and videotape the gate opening. What does that sound like to you guys? Like maybe the gate's about to open? That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, what are the odds that the last place I went to before Grand Junction was the gate to the King's Court opening, and the gate code was mighty, authority, and chosen in order to go to the Lamb's house. The foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. Boy, is that the truth. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, guys, God bless you. Okay, so on this video, what you're seeing right now is I'm at Michael's house, and this is really the end of the video that you're watching right now. So I'm going to do it like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm going to pause that for just a second. Okay, don't worry about what I just said, how this is the end, because I use this little segment for a different video. I just want you to see, after leaving Kingsbrook Court, Kingsbrook, like river, just like Revelation 22, Eden restored, the river of life flowing through it. I leave Kingsbrook, which, would be analogous to the river of life from the Lamb's house. And now I'm at Grand Junction, and Michael's table is finished, and it has the river of life running through two pieces of wood from a tree called the Tree of Heaven. So again, I use this segment for a different video, so don't worry about what I'm saying as far as it's from a different video. Just pay attention to what's the content. It's a river of life, again, after leaving Kingsbrook Court. There we go.
For lack of a better analogy. We're going to jump around a little bit because it's going to make more sense. We're kind of at the finished work of faith right now. What you're going to see here in a minute is you're going to see all these little steps it took to get, on the road trip coming here. But then after you see this next section of the video, you're going to see all these little clips. I mean, some of them are choppy, some of them are, they're just road trip clips, but I documented everything. And now everything's become abundantly clear. It's so supernatural. It's so mind-boggling. I want to do it in this order. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is really the end of the video.
Don't worry about that.
But I'm
again.
going to do this little section and put it at the front of the video just to get you ready. So I'm here at Michael's house. We've got the containers out there. We're getting ready for our get-together. We're working on the deck. And what you're going to see in the next part of this video are all these little segments from the road trip. And y'all, I think on some of these other videos, y'all know that the Lord had me go to Tom and Joy Lamb's house. And he told me I had to go by there and lay hands on Joy Lamb and stop at the Lamb's house. That was a directive. I had to go. And it was a long way out of my way, folks. I mean, for me to go that direction was a really big, loop from San Antonio. I ended up going through 5 states just to get here. So anyway, so you're looking at this table that Michael did. And now, Michael had started on this table a long time ago, and he had to really work on it and work at it. And a long time ago, he had told me about, the Lord had put it to him to build this table. This is made from a tree called heavenwood. And
Tree of
a
heaven.
long time ago, I said, well, if the Lord told you to do it, then you should do it. You know what, let me get out of sight. Sorry, guys. It's just, I'm trying to find the right lighting while I'm doing this. So anyway, I told him, well, if the Lord told you to do it, then you got to do it. And so, he took one stab at it, and then it stayed here for quite a while, and then recently he got after it and made a few adjustments using a different epoxy process. And so now you can see this thing. It is beautiful. It lights up, and it's got glass in it. It's got texture, and it has movement. As an artist, I just think it's astounding. It's really nice. So this is made with heavenwood, and this is like a clear river going through the middle of this table. It's beautiful.
Okay, this is very strange. While this is going on, I'm sitting here watching. I just heard in my spirit change to red clothing. Random. I'm not kidding. It's just right now, I heard in my spirit change to red clothing. I have no idea why, but I heard it, so I'm going to do it. That is so strange. So I'm going to keep playing the video, but I'm going to go change into red clothing. That's so weird. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what that's about. None. We'll see. All right, here we go. maybe that's why I wanted me having red clothing on. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Okay, so I'm documenting. The Lord told me to pull over and take a picture in front of an Eden 21 sign, and I didn't listen. It got behind me before I could go back and do it. So I heard him tell me, pull over and take a picture in front of Eden. And so this is the strangest thing. So let's see. So there's Eden. There's Eden right there. See that? That's so affiliate.
I'm gonna pause it for a second. Guys, you know how crazy cool this is? This is me coming home from Grand Junction. That the Lord actually took me to Eden, Texas. I was like, when I looked up and I saw Eden on some highway sign, I was thinking, where the hell am I? I know Texas pretty well, and I'm on some back road, and I'm like, well, where is Siri taking me? Like, what kind of a route home? I thought I'd be on some major highway, which I recognized, but I wasn't. I was like, where in the hell am I? And then I look up and says, Eden? I'm like, what? Eden? And I heard the Lord say, like, document it. And there was a sign that said 21. And I heard the Lord say, document it. And I didn't, it was too narrow of a road to pull over, and I couldn't. I snapped a photo, but I couldn't pull over. There was too much traffic. It was too narrow. And then I heard the Lord say, pull over at the Eden city limit and get out and document it in front of the Eden city limit sign. I was like, that is so random. I was on the phone with Kat. I was freaking out. I was like, what the hell is going on, man? I'll tell you what's going on. The Lord was giving his servant a message. I didn't know what the message was going to be until just a couple of days ago. Isn't it funny that he never let me give this testimony since Grand Junction? I've been trying to give y'all this testimony since Grand Junction, but something keeps coming up, and I wasn't able to do it. But then 3 days ago, I get the message, Eden restored, 3:11, behold, I come quickly. And it just keeps happening. It's got to be happening soon. Here we go. Let's do it.
Affiliate. Y'all know what affiliate means? Anyway, so there it is. So then he told me to pull over when you come into Eden and get a document you coming into Eden. So that's what I'm doing. I find it fascinating that the speed limit is 55. The speed limit has not been 55. It's been 75. So I know we're dropping down into a speed zone, but it goes, the other ones I've been to are 45 and 35. I find it fascinating that...
I'm going to pause that for a second. And the reason I'm saying that is because the whole way it was 75 in a speed zone. Usually is not right there with the city limit sign. It's usually, you'll see it coming in or you'll see it once you go in, but it was all clumped right together. And I thought it was just so strange because, 5 and 5, W, 55. Just keep watching. Here we go.
Coming into Eden, it's 55. I find it fascinating that pulling in, back right behind me, it says Eden Industrial Park, with an apple with a bite out of it. I find it fascinating that the Lord told me to pull over and document coming into Eden. I find it insane that Eden would be on my route home. All I did was plug in GPS, and this whole trip home, I have taken back roads, and I've gotten to see the most beautiful ride home. I was in shock. I could not believe the beautiful countryside I got to see.
I'm going to pause it. I was talking about the ride home in Colorado and New Mexico. Yeah, I mean, Colorado was staggering. The route Siri took me on. I was like on rural Route 1 and some really bizarre roads. I was like, where am I? I'm talking like little teeny two-laners up in the mountains. Just beautiful. I used to live in Aspen. I've driven around Colorado. I was on some little back country roads and it was staggering. It was so beautiful. Anyway, so I was mentioning that right there. And then, I'm in these back roads in Texas that I've never even heard of. And then I'm going into Eden. It's like, what the hell? Just wait. It gets better. Wait till you see the mural. Wait till you see the mural in Eden. It's unbelievable. Here you go.
Coming home, another very strange thing is I had a card, and let's see if I can find it. And I'll try and document it. You know what I'll do? I will document the card and tack it onto this video as a show note image. It says, enjoy your retirement. And it said, you open the card up and it says something like, just go with the flow and enjoy the scenery. And when I opened that card up, I was on my road trip home from Colorado, and I was on the phone with Billy Lojak, and Billy said, just go with the flow. And that was inside the card I opened up.
I'm going to interrupt right there. So I was in Colorado on one of these back roads, and I had some random card, and it said, enjoy your retirement. And I had Billy Lojak on the phone, and I was like, dude, the scenery is insane. And he goes, well, enjoy the scenery and just go with the flow. I opened up the card. It said, enjoy the scenery and go with the flow. Exactly what Billy said was in this card. I was like, that is so random. It was so weird and supernatural, the whole trip. Anyway, let's keep going. That's what I'm commenting on right now.
And I was just telling him the scenery is amazing. So all these just impossible little details just keep popping off. So anyway, I just documented coming into Eden. And I'm just going to listen. The Lord told me to document. I heard the Lord say, document yourself in front of the Eden sign that's coming up. Because I looked up, it said Eden. I was like, Eden? And it said Eden 21 miles. And the Lord told me to document it, but I didn't. I photographed the sign, but I didn't pull over and do myself in front of it. So anyway, yeah. So then I heard him say, pull over and document when you come into Eden, which I just did. That's what I just did. Listen, guys, listen.
I'm going to pause it right now. Now, right there, I have no idea that 2766 means consecrated potter's clay. Right there, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to document myself in front of Eden because that's what the Lord said to do. 2766, consecrated potter's clay. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. I'm the guy that turns everything upside down. So crazy. All right.
Listen, at my house in San Antonio, I have a piece of artwork that I did, and I put me and Lou in Eden, the Garden of Eden, with the serpent wrapped around us. And there's a piece of plexiglass over that image that's also plexiglass, and it says V for vengeance. I'm not joking.
Right behind me, guys, in the window.
It's in all my videos. That's what's in the window behind me, is me and Lou in the Garden of Eden. So wild. And it says V for vengeance, and now I'm in Eden. That's just impossible. I had no idea I would go to a place called Eden. Okay, I'm going to pause this now. This is super weird.
I pull over in Eden. It's got like one traffic light. I pull over in Eden, Texas, because I see it says Eden Church of Christ, and I pull over to talk to Kat, and my stereo starts playing. Random. It's playing some song called Set Me on Fire. It's no song that I bought. It's no song that I loaded on my phone. But my stereo starts playing Set Me on Fire. Somehow it's coming through my iPhone going to my stereo. And I'm just like, what in the hell is going on? So I got Kat on the phone, and Kat and I are trying to process, and Kat looks up the Set Me on Fire thing, so she tells you the lyrics right here. So here you go, watch this. This is crazy. This is nuts. This just came on my radio. It says, Pendulum, set me on fire. It's like, I'm gonna take you up, set me on fire. Kat just called on the phone. Hang on. Kat, you there?
Yes,
Kat, can you hear me talk?
yes, I can hear you well. That's hilarious. Set me on
Okay, so
fire.
this song came on. I've never put this song on my music. It just came on. It came on earlier. It says Pendulum, set me on fire. And then and I just called you, and I told you that the Lord told me to pull over and document. Okay, hang on. I gotta use this as a testimony. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, guys, hang on. Look, guys, I'm documenting this. This is insane. Okay, Kat, you're on the phone, right?
Yes,
Okay, so what did I tell you before I pulled over? The Lord told me to do what?
take a picture of Eden when you see it.
Take a picture of me when I came into Eden. Is that correct? Okay, I'm going to pause this for just a second. It's like 15:49. Enjoy the scenery. And when I opened that card up, I was on my road trip home from Colorado, and I was on the phone with Billy. Uh-oh. He got after it and made a few adjustments using, just using a different epoxy process. And so now you...
Eden when you see it.
Weird. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so then I was like, yeah, I missed the sign. He told me to take a picture in front of the sign I would... Okay, hang on, guys. Guys, sorry about that little snafu. Something pumped down all the volume. Hopefully this turns out okay. Let's try it again right here. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so what did I tell you before I pulled over? The Lord told me to do what?
Take a picture of Eden when you see it.
Take a picture of me when I came into Eden. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so then I was like, yeah, I missed the sign. He told me to take a picture in front of the sign I would see that had a distance for Eden, and I didn't do what he said. It said Eden 21. What does 21 mean? To exaltation and joy. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh wait, you know what? Okay, guys, I forgot about this. So in that previous testimony, I heard the Lord say, stop in front of that sign 21, but I saw it, and I couldn't pull over in time to stop, and there was traffic going both ways, and so I snapped a picture, but I couldn't pull over and get it, and 21 means exaltation and joy. And then right after that, I heard pull over and stop at the city limit of Eden sign and document yourself in front of that sign. So that's what I'm giving a testimony to right now. So just want to clear that up. Watch. So you looked that up for me, correct?
Yes.
And then I told you, the Lord told me when I pull into Eden, I have to stop and document it. Is that true or not true?
That is true.
Okay. By the way, make sure you're talking loud into the phone because I'm trying to record you off my other phone as a testimony. So you got to talk loudly into your phone. Okay. So here's the other thing. So I pulled off the side of the highway and I videotaped myself. The Lord told me when you come into Eden, right when you come in, when it says Eden city limit, right there, document it. Is that what I told you before I got there, Kat?
Yes.
Okay, so now I want to give a testimony. Now, can you imagine you're on the phone driving to Eden and you hear the Lord say, you got to pull over and document at the city limit? Imagine that. Imagine you're me. You're like, what? I got to pull over and document at the city limit sign in front of it. And then look up 2766 and it means consecrated potter's clay. And I'm the guy that showed the world, surely you're turning things upside down, shall be esteemed as the potter's clay? Consecrated potter's clay? Are you kidding? Do y'all know how impossible that is? That's 1 in 100 trillion. It's not even possible. It's orchestrated. It's by design. So anyway, there's the proof. I document it right there. This is documentation. What was the population of documented? Is that what I told you before I got there, Kat?
Yes.
What was the population of Eden?
It was 26. I got it right here. 26. No, wait.
26.
766.
You sure? You got it right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. My notes to you.
Okay.
2,766.
2766. Now listen up, folks. The Lord told me before I got there, you have to stop. You have to take a picture of you coming into Eden in front of the sign that says you've reached the city limits. Is that what I told you before I got there, Kat?
Yes.
Okay, make sure you speak directly into the phone. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I stopped and I did that video, guys. Kat, tell everybody what 2766 means in the Bible.
Okay. In Hebrew, it means consecrated.
Consecrated to the Lord.
Yeah.
And what's the other word? What's the other thing it means?
Clay, potter's earth.
The potter's clay.
Yes.
And guys, I had no idea that my GPS would bring me through Eden. I've never been to Eden in Texas in my entire life. And now it's behind me, Eden Church of Christ.
Oh boy.
Do you think the Lord may be trying to tell us something? Return
And
to...
the song came on.
Oh, I said it. Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. I said, do you think the Lord may be trying to tell us something? And I just said, return to Eden. And that just happened 3 days ago when I looked up Kat's address in my cell phone on 311. Behold, I come quickly. It says Eden restored. I said, do you think the Lord's trying to tell us something? Right here, I just said it. Return to Eden. Check it out. Watch. I didn't realize this. Watch. Do you think the Lord may be trying to tell us something? Return
And
to
the song came on your radio, set me on fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when Kat called back on this other line to document this,
Wow.
my stereo turned on and it says, set me on fire. Immersion.
You want to know what the first 4 things say repeatedly?
Yeah, okay, so guys, here's what Kat's gonna do. She's gonna read the verses from Set Me on Fire because I don't know, it's not a song I bought, it's not a song that I asked for, it just came on. You know, it somehow it got into my music. So go ahead, Kat.
I'm going to read the first one, but it says the same thing 4 times in a row. So take me up. We're going on, going on.
Oh wow, time out. Oh gosh, that's what the name Jory means. Wait a minute, I gotta prove this out. Okay, wait a minute. That's what Jory means, to take up. Whoa, that's insane. Okay, hang on. I gotta, cause this is crazy. My brain. You can't even think all this stuff up. I can't even keep track of it. It's so much. Okay, let's see. Let's go find the name Jory. Jory means. Okay, let's see. Jory. God will uplift. Look. So Jory Lamb. Jory means, there it is. God will uplift. Okay, now watch. Check it out. So now, let's see. So now the pendulum thing, the lyrics are take me up. Like in Eden, to Eden. I got.
I'm going to read the first one, but it says the same thing 4 times in a row. So take me up. We're going on, going on.
And joy means God will uplift. Take me up. Crazy.
It says it 4 times.
So take me up. We're going on. We're going on. I'm gonna block the sun. See, look. Pendulum. Set me on fire. Immersion. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't even think this stuff up.
No.
I told you, it's time to go home. We're going home soon. And the work of faith has been completed. It's so crazy. V for vengeance. And Kat, have you been to my house before?
Yes.
Do I have a plexiglass piece of art where I carved me and Lou in the Garden of Eden? Yes or no?
Yes.
What's on top of that image of us in the Garden of Eden? The serpent's wrapped around the whole frame, and
It is.
and then what's on top of it?
V for vengeance.
V for vengeance. All right, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Oh my gosh, there it is. Oh wow, what is going on? Spatula moment, folks. Oh my gosh.
Totally. Yep.
All right, y'all remember the Jaguar commercial with Tom Hiddleston? You remember that one, where he's reciting Richard II, and he's like, "This to be paradise, this seat of Mars, this other Eden." Yeah. See, this is their other Eden. That's what this is. This world is. This whole world is their other Eden. That's right. That's why they want this place. I get it. Anyway, just documenting, doing what the Lord said on the Lord's road trip. It's so wild. All right, there it is, documented. Here we go.
Share with them what your GPS says you're going to.
Oh, right. That's right. I'm glad Kat mentioned this. Way back when I was leaving, I left Amarillo. I drove all the way from from Grand Junction to Amarillo. And I left Grand Junction at like 3 in the afternoon or something like that. And I got to Amarillo at like 3 in the morning. And this morning I got up and I told my GPS, take me to San Antonio. Sorry, I forgot to zoom out. It's like, dude. And it pulled up the route, and I started following it. I looked down. It doesn't have San Antonio as my destination. It had Victoria. That's right. So on my GPS on my phone for my final destination. So for the final destination on my cell phone, instead of showing San Antonio, it said Victoria. It's in the show notes. I was like, what the heck? I'm going to San Antonio. But it didn't have San Antonio lit up. it showed my final destination. It said Victoria, like victory. So crazy. Did I screenshot that and send you a picture?
You did.
Yeah, so I sent Kat a picture of that. I screenshotted it and sent her a picture. So it had me going from Amarillo to Victoria. So impossible.
Stopping off in Eden.
Stopping off in Eden on the way to victory. It's so crazy. You can't even think this up, man. This is so insane. It's like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, I'll share this with y'all because y'all are my family now. I love you guys. All right, there it is. Yeah, can't even think it. Yeah, that's Kat from the party. 2766. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm documenting more. I'm pulling through Eden right now, and I pulled up to the main stoplight in Eden, and they put a sign in a convenience store, and it says short stop, and they put it right in front of Eve's face. I'm going to pause it because I want to comment on this. I've realized what this means now. Even the convenience store is called Short Stop. They're making fun of angels that came into the system. It's a short stop for us, like your life is but a vapor. Now on that sign for Eden, let me show you something. Watch this. On this mural, look right here. Look at the flowers dripping. Look at this. Flowers don't drip. See these flowers dripping? See it dripping, dripping, dripping? And look, instead of Adam, it's got a buck, like a trophy buck. And then Eve is behind the thing that says short stop. Isn't that fascinating? That's just crazy. Okay, here we go. And so, and then what's in the garden with Eve is a buck. And then right next door is like a hunting thing for venison. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, I'm going to pause this. This entire building look, the entire building that mural's on. You ready for this? It's a taxidermy and meat processing. Making fun of us like, hunted for dinner. The clothing line 400, angels hunted for dinner. That whole mural of the Garden of Eden is on like a hunter's building. Meat processing and taxidermy. I'll prove it. Watch. So there's Eve. Yeah, there you go. There it all is. There it is. Right here. See, it says venison right here. Venison. And I looked at it when I drove by. It's a taxidermy and meat processing. That's just insane. Okay, so now I've documented it again. I mean, I'm just documenting. This is insane. So Eve is in the Garden of Eden with a buck, and right next door they're hunting. It's a hunting thing. You can't even think this stuff up, man. It's insane. Okay, let me freeze frame this. Okay. So as I was leaving Eden, I pulled over. Okay, now I'm gonna freeze frame this. Look. All these fields, I mean all these fields, there were goats just for miles and miles. I've never seen something like this. It was all goats. No cows, no sheep, just goats. So you can slow this thing down and watch it yourself, but these are goats. And way back here in the back, goats. And this went on for miles. Anyway, that's so you know what this is. I just pulled over because I didn't want to try and do this from the highway. These fields are just filled with goats. I mean, that's what all these things are back here. See, those are goats. Back in here, there's goats. There's goats everywhere. Goats in these fields, it's crazy, but I couldn't do it while I was driving at high speed, so I pulled over. Okay, so I'm going to document all these goats. Coming out of Eden, all they have are goats. There's just goats everywhere as you leave. And they're going to be kind of far off in the background there. They're a little bit hard to see, but these fields are just filled with goats. And so here we go. Let me roll up my window. You can see all the white dots as I drive by. You'll see them all. See all those white dots? These are all goats. These are goats. There's goats everywhere.
You'll see those are all goats over there. So these fields are filled with goats as you leave Eden. So as you leave Eden, this is like goat herd country or something. There are tons of goats all the way over there to the right. You can probably still see them. We're still driving. There's still goats, and these fields are filled with goats. That's what's in them. That's the livestock that they have in these fields, is all goats. Leaving Eden, there's all goats. You can't even think this up. But there it is, looking right at it. There's still more goats. They're all the way over there. So I'm just documenting it for y'all's video, guys. I just like to document everything to show you how crazy my life has become. It's just unbelievable. All right, further documentation. There it is.
Okay, so I'm going to pause that now, and now I'm going to get to the next video of where I kind of just documented all, the artwork, so you can see the different things of Eden. Eden in there, Eden behind me, Eden, Texas. Let's see, Eden in the artwork with the locusts, Eden behind me here, Eden the night I got saved, going through to Eden, Texas, and then the other day it said, looking for Kat's address, Eden restored. Let me show you something. You see this? I'm looking through the days. That's the video of the goat herds. Look at this. So here it is, look. So when I'm leaving Eden right there, see it? So that's Eden, Texas. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Look what's on my screen. You got to be joking me. July 10th, 3/11. That I had no idea until just a minute ago when I was doing this video. I was looking for one of these vids, and look what's on my screen, 3/11. You can't make this stuff up. This is just the Lord confirming 3/11, like from Corey, and from looking up Kat's address on 3/11, Eden restored. That just happened. You can't even think the stuff up. What? You're looking at it. I'm telling you, look, 3/11. And look, watch this. It happened more than once. Oh my gosh. Watch. It's on there a couple times. I told you. Just as a backup. Do y'all know how crazy this is? Do you think the Lord's telling us, behold, I come quickly? I can guarantee you that's what he's telling us. That's amazing. Oh. Wow. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Give me a second, guys. Let me just get it together. Okay, so now I'm going to play a video. Last night I was trying to have this thing ready for you, but too much stuff kept happening. So I did a little documentary video of the artwork that's all about Eden. Because y'all should know, if I was doing Eden before I got saved, and I have xenomorphs coming out of a pit, a dimension, before I got saved, and then after I get saved, I'm the guy that's supposed to warn everybody about xenomorphs coming out of a pit, I'd listen if I was you. I was like, are y'all been paying attention to all this? Do you know the number of supernatural coincidences that have happened just in this one video? You can't even count them. It's insane. Here we go. Here's a video from last night.
Okay, so I want to just kind of go over this whole thing that's happening right now because it's all tied together. This is so phenomenal, guys. It's just so unbelievable. So I want to tie the whole thing together for you. So I want you to think about this. Before I got saved, I was a pro skydiver, I was an artist, I had an art gallery, I did a lot of stuff. One of the things I did was I developed a type of art, and right here behind me, you'll see a piece of that artwork. Wow, it's really wild because it's getting washed out by a really bright light. Let me see. There we go. You'll see right here behind me a piece of that art on the wall. A lot of people said, what's the coffin on the wall behind you, Jonathan? And that used to be my parachute rack. The arms of the cross I used to hang. I had 2 parachutes, and I hung one on each arm of the cross. That used to stand freely in the room. I just took it off the stand and put it on the wall because I didn't want to get rid of it. So anyway, what's really fascinating is I developed this type of art that was using light as my medium, and I used light to paint images. So I'd use the light as the paint. Now, here's the thing that's just fascinating. Before I got saved, I'd done, and you're going to see this in just a minute in the other room, I did a big bar countertop. On that bar countertop, it showed a female egg being fertilized. The female egg, not only it showed all the sperm fertilizing it, trying to fertilize it. That same image turned into the sun, and then it showed the Garden of Eden and sexual intercourse occurring. It had angels coming down from heaven having sex with human females. I had never even read the Bible. Did you know that? Never even. I don't even know if I had opened the Bible and read one passage at that point in my life when I carved what you're about to see now. Here's the point. Right behind me right there is a piece of art I did. It's the Garden of Eden. I took spray paint and I spray painted plexiglass. And then I'd take a 7.5-inch grinder and grind the paint into it. So all you can do is motion. You can't make any real precise images with a 7.5-inch grinder, but you can make the motion of a body. You can make the shape of a neck and the head. So anyway, on that image behind me, it's the Garden of Eden. I put Eleuthera, my girlfriend, and I in the Garden of Eden. What's really strange is in that room is the Garden of Eden as well. You know what's really strange? The night I got saved, I walked out of an alley, and there is Adam in the Garden of Eden. You know what's even weirder? After the Grand Junction event, driving home from Colorado, the Lord, I told one of my phones, take me to San Antonio, and I went on this really crazy route through the mountains, through Colorado, through Texas, through back roads. It was really bizarre. I ended up in Eden, Texas. You guys just got through seeing all the videos, all the documentation. Now, to finish this, I'm going to give you a testimony at the end of this video, and I'm going to tie all these things together. It's unbelievable. The Lord just keeps telling me, behold, I come quickly. I'm coming quickly, Jonathan.
I'm going to pause it right there. Did you see how many times during this video the Lord showed me? During this video that we're doing right now. Look, that's from July 10th. I didn't even know this was on my phone until just now. I did that last night. I didn't know this was on there. I was just looking through here for this Eden thing. He's telling us he's coming quickly. The king's coming. I can assure you. I can assure you. What's quickly? I don't know. But I'd be ready now if I was you. If you're not ready, you're not ready.
Warn everybody, get ready. Tell everybody to get ready. I'm going to show you how he communicated that to me. I'm going to go turn the lights on outside so you guys can see this image. Here's the actual piece of art. It's on this frame. This thing the Lord told me to put over it when George was working for me, oddly enough. And that's what he used to communicate to me what he wanted on my parachute. This says V, and then 4, and then vengeance is upside down, V for vengeance. And it happens to be right over the piece that's myself and Eleuthera, my girlfriend, in the Garden of Eden. What's up with the Garden of Eden thing? You'll see. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of see if I can get it at an angle where you can see it. There's a lot of washout on this thing right now, but and the bars from the window make it difficult. I'll show it to you in the show notes, but there's the back of my head, and there's my neck coming down and my shoulders. So shoulders to neck, shoulder to neck is the back of my head and hair. And I'm looking at this female right here that's looking right at me. And then down here at the very bottom, you'll see the serpent. See See the serpent starting to wrap around the whole thing? And then there was there's a little hole right there in the plastic. Glad that AC went off. There was a little hole right there in the plastic. And I used that hole to make the eye of the serpent. So there's the serpent wrapped around Jonathan and Lou in the Garden of Eden. It looks like a prison now, doesn't it? Because of the shadow, the shadow made by the window. Okay, now a lot of people have asked about this. I just wanted so y'all to know what it is. That's the logo from my sunglass company. It's a V with fangs with a bat underneath. That's made out of copper. It was quite an undertaking to make this thing. And it's a cross. It's a coffin, and it makes a cross. And there's an image of a crucifixion. There's like the head. You'll see the head and the chest and the arms going up. And as I zoom out, you'll see the body. And then down at the bottom, those are flames. And I did this before I got saved, so nobody get all weird. It's just a piece of art. And it had my logo from my sunglass company on it. And that's what that is. And it used to freestand. And I used to hang my parachutes on it. Okay, so anyway, that's what it is. And I hung on to it. Of course I hung on to it. So anyway, so here's what's so strange. The Garden of Eden, right there behind me. Lou and I in the Garden of Eden. In that room over there, you're going to see the Garden of Eden. The night I got saved, I walked out of an alley into the Garden of Eden on a stained glass window. And Jesus ascending into heaven. Coming back from Grand Junction after the sanctifying event that the Lord had me do. He took me to Eden, Texas. And it showed Eve in the Garden of Eden with a trophy buck. Like one that you would be hunting. And the mural was on the side of a meat packing plant. Just try and wrap your brain around that. Instead of Adam, there was a trophy buck, for hunting. Get it? It's unbelievable. So now I'm going to give you the testimony after I show you that other Garden of Eden in there. I'm going to give you the testimony that happened just the other day with me and Corey and Kat again. And it was just unbelievable how the Lord's communicating what's coming. He's coming. The King's coming. I'm a harbinger. My coat of arms is a crown and a trumpet. The Lord told me to look up your coat of arms, Jonathan. I didn't know Kleck had a coat of arms until the Lord told me to look it up. It's a crown and a trumpet because I'm supposed to announce the arrival of the King, of course. Okay, so there we go. Now let's go look at the other one. Okay, so I want to make a point very quickly. So here is a piece of art I did that's the Garden of Eden. That's Lou and I in the Garden of Eden. I put this piece of plexiglass over this at the time George worked for me. The Lord told me to do it. That's the way he used, that's the way he communicated to me what to put on my parachute. This says V and the word for and then vengeance upside down. I was like, why are you having me do that? I didn't really know, but that's what he used to communicate to me what to put on my parachute for the Grand Junction event. Now, oddly enough, in this room, that's my art room behind me, I'm going to start backing in, this massive piece of art that's behind me, this whole thing is Michael the Archangel coming from heaven with a myriad of angels, and this is all the Garden of Eden down here, this whole thing. This is all the Garden of Eden down here. And then there's xenomorphs coming out of the pit, and there's images of naked women all over this thing, and angels coming down from heaven having sex with human women. I'd never read the Bible. I'd never even heard about that's the story in the Bible. Never even heard it. But yet I carved it in metal using lights as a source of paint. So I use lights as my medium. That's unbelievable. Now, let me just give you the testimony about the Garden of Eden. No, don't forget. Let's see if I can turn this on real quick. Let's see if I can turn this on. Rats. Hang on one sec, guys. Let me see if this will come on. One sec. The Garden of Eden, and it's a serpent. No. Anyway, I'm trying to turn this on because This is the poster of Barack Obama in the Garden of Eden, and it's a serpent. There's the eye of the.
So I'm going to pause it right there. Look, this is the poster that the Lord gave me the ability to see into. This is a big serpent. There's the eye coming down the nose, going to the other eye. Here's the top of the head right there. There's the head coming down to the cheek of the serpent. There's the fang right there. Eye right there, coming down to the nose, mouth open. I can see it very easily because that's my gift. Barack Obama in the Garden of Eden. Are y'all catching this? And then the other day, the Lord shows me Eden restored on 311 when I went to look for Kat's address. Did you see how many times 311 popped up during this video? I would be bold enough to tell you, behold, I'm coming quickly is what he's saying. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Anyway, so there's that.
The serpent, there's the eye of the serpent. There's the fang of the serpent. I mean, this is a no-brainer.
Look at that serpent. Hang on, let me move my hand real quick.
There's the eye of the serpent.
There it is. Look how easy you can see it. See the eye there? The eye there. So let's outline the face. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Eye coming out of the nose. Other eye. And the open mouth is Obama's face. There's the fang. The fang is a sperm. You couldn't even think this stuff up, guys.
There's the fang of the serpent. I mean, this is a no-brainer. That serpent is so easy to see when you point it out. There's the eye coming to the nose, eye coming to the nose, fang is a sperm. I mean, this is all about the Garden of Eden. Everything has ended up at the Garden of Eden. So now let me just give a testimony. Unbelievable stuff that's happening right now. And that's this confirmation that I'm coming quickly and Eden's going to be restored.
Amen. And so now look at all the evidence. Jory Lamb's house. Jory means to take up. Thomas Lamb means twin because we've been converted. We're twin lambs now. Our eyes are not double. They're twin lambs. So to lift up, Jory, Lamb, Tom, twin lambs. Kingsbrook Court, just like Revelation 22. You go to Grand Junction, you have a table that's got the tree of heaven with the river of life running down it. You do this sanctifying event that's the bride and the judgment seat of Christ coming together at the corner of rainbow and covenant of peace, and to take the glory from another king in battle, which is what Casimir means. Then you come home, you end up in Eden, Texas. The night you got saved, you walked out of an alley. It's Adam in the Garden of Eden and Jesus ascending into heaven. Get it? Ascending, Jory, to take up. Just put it all together. You could not even think this up. I got a big red X on my parachute. Madonna's got a big X on her coming up from the pit. I'm coming from the sky. She's coming from the pit. You can't even think this up. I wonder why I'm wearing all red. It's like, what's up with that? I don't know. I don't know why he told me to put all red on. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll know in the next few minutes. Who knows? By the way, let me do a quick ad. Anyone that would like Roddy Piper All Out of Bubblegum Soda, you can get one online. I bought them here in San Antonio. Roddy Piper, I'm all out of bubblegum. And I am. Yeah. We're going home, guys. I'm sorry. There's no other way to read this message except, 311. Eden restored. Can you believe how wild this is? Now let's just go to the show notes for a minute. Let's just run through those real quick. So, joy means to God will uplift. I mean, God, you can't even think this stuff up. So amazing. Okay, there it all is. There's Garden of Eden. There's Jonathan and Lou, the Garden of Eden. There's Jonathan, the night he got saved. God, Adam in the Garden of Eden, Christ ascending into heaven. Then Jonathan coming home, stops in Eden. The population means consecrated potter's clay. The Lord tells me, go down to where you got saved and walk up to the wall, document it. It says game over on the back of my jumpsuit. Right there, game over with an X, V for vengeance. Corey sends me a picture of a car, random, 311. Means I'm coming quickly. I go look for Kat's address, and it's on 311. It says Eden Restored. I open up I'm going through mail. It happens to be from Thomas and Jory Lamb. It's Revelation 22. Behold, I come quickly. I mean, you can't think this stuff up. Now let me show you. I told you I could prove the mystery of everything in 2 bumper stickers, didn't I? Ready? Ready for this? Kuiu. You see what that is? That's an insect. That's an insect superimposed over the skull of a sheep. It is a camouflage clothing company. It's hunting clothing, camouflage. K A B C D E F G H I J K 11 I 9 A B C D E F G H I 911. Get it? Angel of the bottomless pit. 2 U's, double U. Insect and sheep. Wow. Largest altar in the world. Insect and sheep. Don't believe me? Let me show you. There's an insect superimposed over the skull of sheep. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. I is the 9th. 911. Cryptically put right in front of you. And it's no different. There's the largest altar in the world right there. That window right there is the sheep right there. And the mouth of a bug, a giant bug right there. There it is. There's that whole thing. So you got a bug and a sheep right there. Look at this. Look at this thing right here. KU. There it is. You got a bug and a sheep. K and U. Same exact thing. Told you. There's your bug right in the middle. K and I. 911. By the way, the number 9, it means a lost thing, which is the sheep. The number 11, place of destruction. K, place of destruction. I, a lost thing, a sheep. An insect and a sheep and a W, just like I've been telling you. Same exact system. Proved it right there in front of you. Told you. And then here's another bumper sticker. It says, water is life on the back of a truck. That's a sheep's face. For anyone that doesn't have eyes to see, squint your eyes. That's a sheep's face. And that's lightning bolts. See these lightning bolts? That's us being cast down. See the lightning? Water. That represents semen. This is like an American Indian doing a rain dance. It's a dead sheep. Water is life. It's semen, sheep. No different than this. Right there. Told you. So now, I just used 2 bumper stickers and proved everything I've been telling you is true. Oh! We won. I got it at the flea market the other day. I don't know. Let's look it up. It ought to be good. Who knows? Let's see. I wonder what the Bible Strong's meaning of 34 is. Who knows? Strong. What happened? I've never looked up 34. I've done 340. A herd. Yeah, it's like, oh, there you go. Oh, wow. Strong's, yeah, I have looked it up on the Alien Covenant thing. I remember that, a herd. And it was on the Homer Simpson thing. There it is. Strong's 34, a flock. There it is, flock. I think the flock's about to go home, guys. There's just no way. There's just no way. Anyway, guys, so there's a testimony. 311, 311, 311, 311, 311, which means, behold, I come quickly. Let me just show it to you in the Bible so you see it yourself. What does 311 mean in the Bible? It's, to me, Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. I'm not talking about the Strongs. I'm talking about the Bible verse that is in the angel of the church of Philadelphia. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from the hour of testing, which shall come upon the whole world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. That's the great tribulation. Behold, I come quickly. Revelation 3:11. I know it well. Behold, I come quickly. Okay, so I will keep you from the hour of testing. That is the bride of Christ leaving. Whoever has an ear, let him hear. Anyway, we'll see, man. It's coming. It's coming. I've got all my chips on the table. Don't care anymore. Praise God. All right, guys. I hope that wasn't too, all over the map, but oh my gosh. If y'all really want to freak out, go look at this. Go look at this folder. Oh, by the way, let me just go back to the folder for just a minute. Show you a couple images real quick. I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. So there it is. So look. So here's KUIU inner circle. See the bug right here? Look. That's no different than the sigil of Baphomet. See, right inside the sigil of Baphomet is a bug. That's it. There you go. It's identical. See it? There it is. Sigil of Baphomet. Also, it's the same as St. Stephen's Cathedral. There's Madonna coming up out of the pit. Here's a magazine ad. It says called Summit. Figure it out. Look. X. X. The girl's got a mirror reflection, and it's Summit. They've reached the summit. Just like Madonna coming up out of the pit with a bug hatching a female. There's the Kleck coat of arms. I'm not making this stuff up. And angels get turned into bugs. There it is. Kleck coat of arms. You couldn't even think all this stuff up. The king's coming. All right, guys. God bless. Okay, now look. I know I kind of was all over the map on this, but do you get it? Garden of Eden, 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 return to Eden. That's the summary. It's okay. Yep. Started with the Garden of Eden artwork, more artwork, Garden of Eden. I get saved. The night I get saved, I walk into the Garden of Eden. I go to Grand Junction on the way home. I go to Eden. The Lord shows me consecrated potter's clay. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. I've been consecrated to the Lord through the work of faith, and now it's time to return to Eden. Message received loud and clear. Group hug! Ow! Yes. All right, guys. I love you guys. God bless. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right. If you guys want to freak out on a folder, go look at this folder. Spiritual takeover has become completely obvious. And there it is. By the way, I just want to show you one more picture from the KUIU site. Look at that. There you go. One's right side up, one's upside down. Surely you're turning of things upside down. Look at that. Right in front of your face. Told you so. Once you got it, you got it. Once you got them, you got them. Take that. Praise God. All glory to God. All right, guys. God bless.